Alright, so today's video is on this box of BearBangers I picked up. As you could read, it's for 12 gauge shotguns, open choke shotguns only. That reason is that you don't want one of these things actually getting stuck in your barrel and firing. You could probably most likely damage, especially if it's an older shotgun or a cheaper shotgun, you'll damage your barrel. And you don't want that kind of a chance happening anyway. They're designed to explode outside of the thing. It is flash powder inside these things, so it can be dangerous. If you ever seen the people who've loaded 37 or 40 millimeter grenade cartridges with their own BearBangers and have had them explode, you see what it does to the gun, and you see what it does to the hand that's over it. You don't want to mess around with them too much. These obviously have a lot less powder in them, but at the same time, all it takes is a little piece of steel from your barrel to hit you in the face to give you a bad day. Anyways, so what tonight I'm going to do is, I have shown you what using the other BearBangers, the ones that go on the Tru Flare pens, I've shown you how to make them into 12 gauge shells to fire them out of your shotgun if you're unable to find these ones here. I noticed these things in the store the other day, so I picked up a box. They aren't cheap. They are about the same price as the other ones are. The ones for the actual little Tru Flare pistol, which the ones that connect to these kind of model pens, the ones that screw in the front. Anyways, so they range about the same price. This was 17 something up here for 5. The other ones are about 24 for 6, so, or 22 for 6. So you're looking around the same price. So if you could find these to fire out of your shotgun, technically you don't have to make the thing that I made for the other one. But at the time that I made the stuff, you couldn't find this, or I couldn't find these at least. Anyways, so today's video is going to be mostly a disassembly of one of these to see exactly how it's made inside. Before I get started, I did take one of the roll crimps off of one, so I'll open the box and show you what they look like first off. So you got them here, they're roll crimped with a little plastic end on it, and they're standard shotgun 12 gauge length. Cheddite shells, and it looks like a standard primer. I've undone the roll crimp already on one of them. I haven't opened it up yet, so this is going to be just as much of a surprise for me as it is for everyone else watching. My guess is that it's basically the piece that's inside the ones. So a little cardboard tube with a plastic end cap on it, and one end has the powder pushed, like the I guess a propellant slash timing device pressed hard onto the end, so it's a solid piece, or one solid grain, and just a primer pushing it out. The burning of the delay is actually what throws it out of the barrel. At least that's what my thoughts are on this. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. This video is going to be a lot like the ones that, well, if you like this kind of video, my advice to you would be go see the Crazy's YouTube channel. He does a lot of videos where he tears down fireworks and flares and all sorts of other interesting things. I'm actually jealous of quite a few of the toys that he's got. He's got a 5 or 6 shot 37mm launcher, which pretty interesting little toy from the looks of it. And anyways, he does a much better video than I could ever make on these kind of things. I hadn't seen him make one of these, so I figured I'd open it up since I just bought myself some. So here we go. As I said, I'll put a link in his channel, or a link to his channel, and go watch his videos. I'm sure you'll appreciate some of the stuff that he's got there if you enjoy any of the teardown videos. So we'll start, as I said, standard Cheddite cartridge here. I'm going to reach in and try to pull this thing off. I'm not sure if it will, if it's just a cap or if it's the actual end of my... Feels like it may be the end of the projectile. So let's see if I could sort of get it to come out here. Oh, no, just an end cap here. So now we pull this off. The reason I'm not cutting this off is because I'm actually planning on putting it back together, because I'm pretty cheap and I'd like to keep these things. As you see, it's already better than the ones you get for the flare in the pens. So I'll take this thing out now. Hopefully there's nothing underneath it. Doesn't look like there is. Try to lift the camera here so you can see inside with some light if it's possible. Oh, that's interesting. There's an actual wad in there. So we'll pull that out next, and then we'll see how much powder's underneath that wad, if there is powder. It's going to be interesting to yank out. I might have to do this off screen, but there we go. There isn't a hole in here, and we'll find out if they got actual powder at the bottom of this. It's going to be a pain to get back in, I think, but there we go. So what we have here is a shotgun wad, pretty standard one, except they decide to drill a hole in the bottom of it. Let's bring it lower down. There's a small hole drilled in the bottom. I'd say it's about 1/8. I had to take a measuring tool to it. 1/8 inch hole, pretty quickly done, hasn't been cleaned out that well. And let's see if we can see the primer, if there's powder in here. There is. Interesting. There is a lifting charge in there of some sort, or a wad of some sort. Just a newspaper piece basically here, from the looks of it. Yeah, just a thin wad to hold the powder down, made of newspaper. And I'm going to find myself a little container, because I do seem to think that there is. It does appear to be full of powder, so maybe we'll see what we could do with that, and I'll give it a measure. Alright, so that's pretty much empty. And it's a really light colored, as you see, if you get this thing to focus properly. Light colored cylindrical powder is in here. I'm going to turn off the camera, go get my scale and measure this for you guys, so that we have an approximation. Alright, so I've got the scale out. It's a little dusty because I haven't used it for a while. See if we could get an understanding of how much of this powder is here. It's obviously a smokeless powder of some sort. If anyone knows, I'll appreciate it. And you got about 5.1 grains of powder. So I guess it's supposed to be about 5 grains. They usually do it with volumes because it's faster to do, so 5.1, 5.2 grains of powder. Alright, turn that off. Close the lid for the powder. So that's 5 grains of powder in here for the lift, and now let's check this out. I'm actually surprised with this. I don't really want to open it, but looks like a black powder. Looks like a black powder plug on it, and a cardboard piece here. I'll attempt to open this, but it's not really something you should be doing if you could get away with doing. It's pretty soft. You should avoid doing stupid shit like this. Your fingers tend to appreciate it more. I'm thinking I won't be able to open that. Alright, so while the camera was charging a bit, I just opened this up and pulled off a plastic cap. End cap. Inside, as you see, there was about 19 to 20 grains, or 1.2 grams of flash powder. And I don't think you'll be able to see it too well because there's bad lighting here. Oh, there you go. But it looks like they've basically pressed black powder into a plug shape at the bottom of this thing. So you can see it there, plug shaped, and it's where you can see the bulge. So it goes to about right here. So it's that whole length, and it should be the whole thing is black powder that they use as a plug. So as it lights, it burns like a fuse. So it's delay. Then once it burns through, which the time delay is decided by the hole in the middle there, the divot, and that basically decides when it goes off after it leaves your barrel. So they set it so that it blows up in the air and not on the ground and not in your barrel. Anyways, that's basically it. That to me is the size of a AA battery. So if you get the case off of a AA battery, you could probably make one of these yourself. I wouldn't recommend it as it appears dangerous, but it probably is made out of zinc. It might be aluminum, but I'm not going to test it. So that basically is what's in your 10 gauge, your 12 gauge flare. I'm going to turn off this again, and I'm going to just weigh in the original one just to give you guys an idea of the difference here. Alright, so if I take one of the BearBanger shells, it's approximately 16.78 grams. Compare that to a regular 7.5 load, which is 42.4. So as you see, it is a lot lighter. Obviously you know why. The stuff that's in it isn't lead. And basically that's the end of this video. If you enjoy these kind of videos, feel free to head over to the Crazy's channel. He's got a lot of different interesting videos on fireworks and flares and BearBangers and stuff too. So head over there. I'll put a link in the bottom of the description, and hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.